Okay, after some wrestling, I finally got the unit in. It's underneath here, it's bolted down. I got 3 screws in there solid, and it's not going anywhere. So then, got down here, and I finally, see if we can get a picture of it. I did get the wiring through the hole, and you can see at this hose right here, I actually had to drill another hole above that. I didn't have a big enough hole to run the wiring and the tubing at the same time. This 1/4-inch tubing goes to the brake actuator. So I drilled a 1/4-inch hole. It's nice and snug, fits good, and we look good from there. I can't get a good view of this, but there is an opening right against the firewall where that 1/4-inch tubing slides right through, and it's headed right over, goes right over the top of the accelerator pedal, and then right over there right to where you need it for the brake actuator. Yeah, this vehicle has a battery disconnect system. So on here, I can't use the brake light switch. So I had to add this wire where this dotted line is. Had to add that over and had to bring that through the firewall. So I got to bring that through the firewall, and then I can hook up my indicator light inside the vehicle that can be seen with the rear view camera of the motorhome. Okay, so I've added this stuff in here. It goes down to the box down here. This is the air line for that. So I covered it up with all the sheathing that goes over. And so I ran it up along underneath here from over there, like that, around behind the brake fluid dispenser. Ran it up in the sheathing, and I've got a pile of wires here, which I'm going to end up connecting into this piece here, and my breakaway switch wiring. So that part's all done. That was a little bit of a chore, but looks nice. I'm happy with it. So now it comes to that brake indicator LED. I don't feel like tearing up all the stuff in the interior. It's just got to be visible. I'm just gonna set it here on the dash, and I found I can poke the wire right underneath this groove all around here. So I'm gonna come all the way around here. I'm gonna try to drop it into here, run it down, and come over somewhere like that. Try to get it into the glove box. We'll see how that works. Like I said, I'm trying to do this stuff as less invasive as possible because I don't want to tear the interior up and just, try to shove, take panels off and then find out that I can't get them back on again. Anyway, we're just going from there. Again, here's the controllers down below. Just got a few wires here, and I'm trying to finish making some connections, and we're going to see how well this thing works. More on that LED wiring. Yeah, it sticks out over there, but okay, I'm going to live with it for right now. But I was able to tuck that in. I come over to this corner, and I was able to make this transition here. Then I'm able to get it tucked in underneath here. Okay, so, and it's coming around here like that. A nice old large dull screwdriver works well. If you find your lacerating in the insulation, then be careful. You don't want to tear the wiring up. I'm going to wrap this around here, and I think I'm going to end up drilling a hole right here. Then I can run the wire back through and around away from that, and hopefully the glove box closes okay, and we'll go from there. Okay, last time I got to this point right here, thought I was going to have to drill a little hole. Then I looked down here, and I got these Torx screws all along the top where the glove box goes. So all I did was loosen those screws. Then I was able to get underneath this lip right here and just run the wire easily around there, and then drop it in behind here. Looks like it's going to be fine. Great, I don't see any wires. I didn't tear anything up. I'm not struggling trying to get some cover back on, and some plastic cover that pops off but won't pop back on. So, you guys that work in the body shop all day long, it's easy enough to pop this stuff off, pop it back on. You guys got the tools, and you've done it several times. I'm just a guy that hasn't done this kind of stuff very much, but we're trying to figure it out. Anyway, so that looks all together. Now we're going to start wiring, connecting some wires. Okay, the connections are made underneath the the dash. Everything looks clean. I'm going to go ahead and put the glove box down, and I will be done, I think, inside under the dash. I still need to put the actuator underneath the brake pedal and hook up the airline to it. Then we're still going to work on to the next project, which will be the battery disconnect switch, but that's for a different time. Here we go. Okay, let's do a little recap on what we're doing here. I'm putting in a Demco braking system in this 2021 GMC Canyon AT4. So what we've done here is I figured out how to get this Demco unit in underneath this thing here, down low. It's down here. There it is. Okay, I've got the unit in there. So I kept trying to find out where to put the controller, which is this unit. I had to put it in on the passenger side because there's not enough room on the driver's side due to the emergency brake pedal. So then I kept trying to find out where is there some grommets or something to get through the firewall. Turns out there's 2 pins in the bottom of this glove box that I was able to pull, and then this whole glove box unit comes out. So in behind there, I was able to find a grommet for the heater hose. The heater hoses that come through, probably not going to get a good video of this, where the heater hoses come through, and I was able to drill some holes through the glove box side into there with some long drill bits. Made it easy. I was able to get that inside and the wires through. I had to drill an additional hose for the airline because the hole I originally drilled wasn't big enough. So then I ran the wiring up along the top here, all around, over behind the battery. And when I had them install the lights at a trailer hitch place, I left the cable up here where I had access to it. They also installed the breakaway switch and the base plate unit for that. So I managed to get all this stuff done yesterday, all the connections done underneath the dash, and all the connections done up here, except for the positive battery connection, which I'm going to install a battery disconnect solenoid a little bit later on. What I need to finish up today is I need to put the air actuator on the brake pedal, and the installation of the Demco unit will be completed. So this is a DIY project. I'm not affiliated with any shops or anything like that. I'm just the average guy trying to do a good job on his brand new truck. There wasn't much on the internet telling you what to do on this model of a truck and where things were, so I had to get creative and try and do that. That's why I'm putting this together, so that somebody else maybe can follow in my footsteps and put this unit on their truck also. Anyway, so I will continue on and video soon. Okay, this is the install of the air actuator on the brake pedal, and I had to kind of dig at the firewall here a little bit and got it in. They say to leave a little bit of a loop on the cable going from there to there so that it doesn't kink when the actuator goes on or off. So I'm hoping that's okay. Got the air line hooked up, and we'll see how this mechanism works. So I went out and bought a flexible tube cutter. I didn't have anything good, and I didn't want to try to cut stuff with a Stanley knife or something like that. So I thought, okay, I'll get a good tubing cutter. This works for PEX and some of the other stuff. I've got a motorhome that's got PEX in it, so I'm going to carry a few fittings and a few little pieces of tubing in case I got a problem on the road. So I bet this cutter will go along with me. So the last piece of this puzzle here will be to put a T-fitting in here and a check valve that goes over to the controller. This is one reason I got that tubing cutter. I want a nice clean cut over here. So now I'm going to build up a T system and a check valve, and cross my fingers as I cut this tubing on this brand new 2021 GMC Canyon AT4. Okay, I made up this little piece from the parts that come with the kit. I've got this in here. This is the check valve, black side towards the engine, and this side's going to get teed in, and then this side goes over to the controller. Anyway, there's that one. Okay, so I got the vacuum hose teed in right here with the check valve and all that. It was a little bit of a chore, but I got that all done. So I think the Demco Stay and Play Duo, I guess it's a Stay and Play Duo, has been installed. Seems like it's working. I tried taking the disconnect switch off, the emergency disconnect switch, and everything pumped down. The actuator, it worked. It looked like it was going. So I think that part's okay. So that concludes this installation. So there's a few challenges, but we finished that up. Anyway, this is the GMC 2021 Canyon AT4 model with the Demco Stay and Play Duo installed. Alright, so the next thing is I installed this guy here, which is the disconnect switch. And then this guy here is the charging diode that isolates the coach from the vehicle. It's keep my battery, it's going to keep my battery charged. I wired all this stuff in. We've got this guy here. I had to turn the battery cable around here, and then I ended up having to cut this little flap right here to get this cable down. Of course, everything's all shrunk together. That was a little chore of the wiring to get all that done. That's pretty straightforward for somebody that's done some of the technical work. I did run the control wires down through. See if we can get a picture of it. It's down in there. The grommet that has the hood release. So the grommet that has the hood release, I took a coat hanger, punched it through there, put a loop on the end of the coat hanger, put the wire through, ran some tape through, and just pulled, and it popped right on through. So that's okay. So and I ended up mounting the disconnect switch right here. There's a little nut that goes in behind it, but I used a 5/8 inch drill. I drilled it in, and it's in there snug. It's not coming out. So the nut's hung up on some wire back there. I'll just tie wrap that up and call it good. Other than that, I tested everything. It runs the way this works. So you got to hold the button in, start the vehicle, and then it runs. So that takes a little getting used to. So anyway, that's that. I think I'm ready to hook this up to the motorhome and see if it reacts properly. But it looks like it's working okay. It's been a long project, and good luck for you folks trying to do a DIY at home. And good luck, everybody. I'm going to give this a whirl, and we'll see what happens. If I run into any snags, I'll add some more video to it. Thank you very much for watching, and happy travels.